You started by saying the election has come and gone. I'm just wondering, is the election over? I'm saying this because, according to the electoral law, the elections are not over until it is over, and there are cases in court that has not been disposed with. That is why we are in an anomalous situation. We have a declared president-elect whose election is being challenged and the courts are handling it. I think I'm entitled to take the position that I'm still waiting for the courts to tell me who won the election. That is why I say we're in an anomalous situation. And I'm one of those who have been saying it doesn't make much sense to be swearing in people when they are still in court. I know it has happened with governors. And, but the outcome has really not been the best of all cases. I don't think we ought to review our election process so as to make sure that we do have a winner who will be sworn in and whom everybody will rally around. It is still, I cannot understand. I am not a legal man, I'm not a judge. It's a pity that it's taking so long for the courts to make up their mind on this matter. Therefore, my problem now is that the whole system of our election need to be properly reviewed, so that it should be easier for winners to emerge according to the wishes of the people. And here, therefore, I even have very basic questions. Do we really want democracy? From what we are seeing from political actors, it seems many of them are not really interested in democracy. They want power by all means. By all means. Now, this is an issue we must agree. Do you know, we know that for 30 years, this country was ruled by people who held guns, not by democracy. We were forced to obey everybody. And they became our president, one after the other. But we agreed at that time that that was not the way for Nigeria to move. If we don't want it with people carrying guns, well, I don't think we should be accepting it with people who can just manipulate the system and frustrate the wishes of the people.
Your Eminence, if I can...
Because they have resources.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. The Archbishop Emeritus of the Archdiocese of Abuja, Cardinal John Onaiyekan, has argued that it does not make much sense to be swearing in people when the matter of the election is still in court. That's one of the things he was saying in the video you finished watching. Cardinal Onaiyekan, who was a guest on Channels Television, Sunrise Daily, said that it is uncertain if the elections are truly over, as some may claim. That's what he said. Seeing that a lot of matters are still in court. And we said because of this, there is a need for an urgent, he said that as a result of this issue, there is a need to review our electoral process. So what he's saying is that how can you swear people in when there are many court cases lingering over the election? And we are going to look at some of his position. Then I will give you my own takeaway from what the highly respected cardinal, what his message is all about. He said that we are in an anomalous situation. We have a declared president-elect whose election is being challenged, and the courts are handling it. I think I am entitled to take the position that I'm still waiting for the courts to tell me who won the election, the cleric said. That's what he said there. He said he wants the court to tell him who won the election. That he's still waiting for the court. In other words, what he's saying is that he did not accept that the declaration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress as the president-elect as a closure of the election. That is the message that the cardinal passed to the nation on Thursday morning. That the final chapter of the election has not closed. And you can see the way some people are carrying on as if the election is actually over. That's what he's saying. It's not yet over. You see how Asiwaju, the governor of Rivers State, the way he arranged state visits for President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you think that the way they talk there, you think that the elections, everything about the election is over, that the country has moved on. No. Onaiyekan is telling us the country cannot move on until the final closure to the election is brought by the courts. And he said he is waiting on the courts. He's not alone. There are millions of Nigerians that are waiting for the courts. And he also moved into the issue of this swearing in people when there are still pending cases in the courts. He argued that it doesn't make sense to be swearing in people when they are still in courts. Adding that there is a need for an urgent review of the electoral process, so as to ensure that a winner will be sworn in when everybody will rally around. A winner will be sworn in who everybody will rally around. Now, you are swearing in people on May 29. You can bet that Nigerians are not going to rally around not all Nigerians will rally around the winner. especially in the case of 2023 presidential election, where the INEC declared winner, scored about 8 point something million votes, but there are over 16 million votes against him. Because if you add the votes that Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Atiku Abubakar of PDP and Rabiu Kwankwaso of NNPP, the votes they gathered is double, more than double, constitutes 61% of the total votes cast in the election. Nobody has ever been declared president with such a huge number of votes against him. So like he said, it should be difficult for people to rally around. Only the APC people will rally around the man on May 29. They will be the only ones celebrating. That's for sure. But if there had been a final closure before being sworn in, you can bet that the whole country will rally around whoever emerges as the president. So the cardinal is making a very important point, and I think that is the next thing that needs to be done to the Electoral Act. That nobody should be sworn in until after the whole court processes are finished. Therefore, there has to be an amendment to the effect that all court cases, all litigations must finish before people are sworn in. And that must be concluded before May 29th of every election cycle. Then the Archbishop said that it is a pity that the courts are taking so long to make up their minds on the 2023 presidency matter. Hence, the reason a proper review of the electoral system has become imperative. Yes, look at the kind of delay. The courts are not going to be sitting until Monday, around 8th of May. It's not supposed to be so. They ought to have been sitting shortly after the election so that they can be able to finish on time. So these are some of the amendments that need to be done to facilitate accelerated hearing of election petitions so that they will finish on time before the swearing in on May 29th. According to him, as you heard in this video, according to him, a proper review of the system will see to the emergence of winners in line with the wishes of the people. Speaking further on the nation's polity, Cardinal Onaiyekan said basic questions still linger as regards what the nation really wants, as regards governance and those who rule. One of such questions being, do we really want democracy? It's a very important question that the Cardinal asked. Do we really want democracy? In his own opinion, many of the political actors are not interested in democracy. You can take that to the bank. Many of the political actors, like the Cardinal rightly pointed out, they are not interested in democracy. He said that they want power by all means. They want power by all means. He said this is why many politicians today are only looking to manipulate the system. They're only looking to manipulate the system and frustrate the wishes of the people because they have resources. And he was asking, how can we tolerate this? He said, Nigeria had been under military rule for 30 years. And we said enough is enough. We can no longer continue with the army kicking everybody around, that the army must return to the barracks. Army use force, intimidation, killings to suppress Nigerians for them to be able to rule Nigeria for over 30 years. Now we are in a democracy. Now we are seeing the civilians, the politicians, exhibiting that kind of intolerance and dictatorship that is known with the military. Only this time, instead of being armed with weapons like the soldiers, the politicians are armed with dollars, with which they purchase thugs, killers, and buy over everybody they think need to be bought for them to be declared winners of elections. So what Onaiyekan is saying is, we have reached a point where we have to rise against these civilian dictators who has now gotten to the level where the only difference between them and the military is just that they are not dangling weapons on the street openly. But you can see their hired guns everywhere, terrorizing people on election days, buying votes, doing worse than Abuja, intimidation, insulting people, exacerbating our ethnic and religious fault lines. Everything is on the table as long as they have to win. Cardinal Onaiyekan is saying, these people are not different from the military people. We must face them the way we face the military. They are intolerant. They are against democracy. They are enemies of democracy. That's why Onaiyekan was saying, what do we really want? Do we want democracy? This thing we are practicing, is it really democracy? What is the difference between the major players of today from the military dictators? As far as I can see, the only difference between them was that the military dictators were carrying guns. But the civilian dictators also have hired guns. They used to kill people on election day, destroy ballot papers, and do all manner of illegalities, and nothing is done to them. Since after the rascality in Lagos, did you see anybody that has been arrested? Did they do anything to MC Olomo? Did they do anything to Onanoga? To Femi Fani-Kayode? And all those who are saying all kinds of things about the Igbos? Or for all those people who are going around in Lagos saying, don't come out unless you are coming to vote for APC. Not even during military regime have we seen such rascality. And those who did this, nothing was done to them. Absolutely nothing. Even MC Olomo, the things he said, the security people said he was only joking. But when one certain man in Lagos said that because the way they were allegedly burning Igbo properties in Lagos, he said that he's going to invite IPOB, the ban organization, that's going to invite them to come and protect their shops from all these people who are coming to destroy it. He didn't say that he's going to bring them to Lagos to terrorize Lagosians. It didn't take them seconds. Every security officer, they know where the man is. They arrested him immediately. In his own case, he was not joking. He meant business. But MC Olomo, who threatened and eventually executed his threats on the election day, nothing was done to him. That is the kind of impunity you get even during our Abacha regime. So what Onaiyekan is asking, do we really want democracy? Are we sure? That's the question he was asking. Have Nigerians asked themselves if they really want democracy? So what he is challenging Nigerians. What you are practicing, is it democracy? What happened on February 25, in which the Beavers was able to transmit senatorial and House of Reps results to the INEC, but he could not transmit the presidential election. Is that an election? Is that a democracy? What is the difference between what happened that day with what used to happen under Mubarak in Egypt? Under the kind of elections they were holding in Syria, in Iraq, in Russia. What is the difference between what happened that day and these countries that I mentioned that tend to pretend that they are a democracy, like Russia, where every election cycle Putin will win? What is the difference between the Russian election and what they conducted that day on February 25? That is why somebody like Cardinal Onaiyekan is asking Nigerians, what do we really want? Do we want democracy? What we are practicing, is it democracy? What our politicians are practicing, is it democracy? Is it because they tell people that go to court? Is that why it's a democracy? So we need to review our electoral laws and put all the things that will make it to work. That's the only way out. Because as we keep on going, we are discovering new things. Now we know that INEC can manipulate the Electoral Act. Before the election, they were telling us that everything will be electronically transmitted. It was now when after the deed had been done, they now tell us, it's not compulsory that INEC can use electronic transmission. They can decide to do manual. But that was not what they were telling us. That was not what was written in the Electoral Act, as we understood it at the time. And in any case, what is stopping them from uploading all the presidential election results up till now, as I'm talking to you, to their IRIF? With which figures did they use to declare the winner? When up till now, they have not been able to upload all the results to the INEC IRIF up till now. So which figures are they going to use to defend their declaration at the tribunal? Little wonder, Onaiyekan said, no, I'm waiting for the court to tell me who is the next president of Nigeria. You saw him, that's what he said. I'm waiting for the court. He said, at least I still have the right to act like that, to say this. Of course, he has the right. He said, I'm still waiting for the courts to tell me who won the election. In other words, he said, I do not accept what INEC has declared as the president-elect. I'm waiting for the courts. I don't trust INEC. They don't deserve my trust from the way they handled the election. My only chance of knowing who the next president is the court. So that was the summary of that interview he granted. Is to let Nigerians know that he didn't recognize the INEC announced president-elect as the final solution. He's waiting for the court. It's when the court rule. If the court say Asiwaju is the winner, Onaiyekan and others, they will accept it. Because what can they do? That is the law. The highest authority in the country, the Supreme Court, when they say it's Asiwaju, that is it. When they say it's peterobi of the Labour Party, that is it. It's final. Until that is done, Onaiyekan is saying we are having a quagmire on who is the next president of Nigeria until the court rules. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. And with more people watching it, they'll be able to be educated politically and see the direction our country is going. And we pray that our country goes the right direction. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.